they were reserved for they were the reserve for the Federation, right? I mean, that was what they were. They're like, well, when this country is in dire straits, or there's a market spike, or the next depression's going to happen, we're going to be there to make it all right by printing money. We're going to be the bank that lends money to the country.
What's amazing is when someone's running for president and they meet with the Bilderberg group, just out in the open. They just go and meet with them. And, you know, they have these fucking meetings, and it's all online.
I want to chat with you for a few minutes.
Yeah, people that, right. Bill Clinton running for president met with the Bilderberg. Oh, vote on that guy. Meanwhile, they probably all meet with them, you know.
But clearly.
They just figure out who's the best puppet.
Clearly.
Has that ever been
more... And that's so frustrating with Obama right now. Yeah. Because, I
was just going to ask you that. Has it ever been more evident?
So clear. And I was duped. I was fucking duped. I was sold on the hope and change. Yeah. And the reason I was duped was not because... I wanted to believe in the posters, but because I looked at where the money came from, and it came from guys like me. Yeah. I don't know if it came from you, but it came from individuals. It wasn't so much from the corporations. There was some there.
I wonder if it even did. I mean, who the fuck is auditing where the money comes from, and who's?
There's a couple sites that look at donations and whatnot, but that's never
they have
fully.
It all down?
No, I mean, there's always back channels, and so for all I know, yes, the corporations could have totally put them in there, but I know that I donated, and I know a lot of other people donated, and so the sentiment amongst guys like myself who feel like sheeps now, the sentiment was, hey, the people are putting him here, so he's got the chance for the hope and change. He's going to fuck those banks over. He's going to get us out of those wars, like he said. He's going to do this, that, the other. And I thought because, well, my money went to put that there, and so did millions of others of Americans, he's going to feel beholding to us.
You know what? He just escalated everything.
Escalated everything. Continued the same policies right away.
More people are being spied on than ever.
More
civil liberties.
More rendition is happening. Guantanamo's not fucking closed down.
Not
We're still in wars.
Remember that?
Yeah.
We're going to close down Guantanamo Bay.
Listen, it's a logistics thing. We got an Excel spreadsheet. It's going to take us like a year to figure it out, guys.
Yeah.
No, you're not closing that motherfucker down.
Yeah, meanwhile...
You're clearly not. And then taking the guys who are responsible for defrauding the nation, these guys from J.P. Morgan, from Citibank, from Goldman Sachs, from Bank of America, and putting them in positions of power, in positions where they can control the money. You put those guys in power, the ones that literally fucked this country by selling faulty mortgages and betting against their own customers.
That's the crazy shit.
Like betting against them, selling you shit in a box, putting a AAA rating on it, and saying, dude, this is so secure, you're going to love this shit. Oh, yeah, we bet against it, and now it's going to fail. And then you're going to give me the money to bail me out. He put those motherfuckers in his cabinet. I'm happy Don't Ask, Don't Tell got repealed, but you got some fucking work to do if you want to get my vote.
That's a crumb.
That's what I mean. But they use
goddamn crumb.
I had a sign.
You're allowed to be our hired killer, even if you're gay. Congratulations, the world's perfect now.
Right? Yeah, we need those numbers up.
We don't need gay people killing people. We don't need any new people killing people.
I was out at the rally with a sign that said, "Wall Street wants to gay marry your illegal abortions." And people were like, "What, are you trolling this event? What are you doing?" And I'm like, no. I'm saying that like someone might see this and get outraged. And the statement that I'm trying to make, which was woefully missed, I get it now. But the statement I was trying to make was that the same anger you have for moral issues, you need to apply to the issues that are the fundamental problems right now, in my opinion. It's not those little moral issues that are on this sign that you're being offended by right now. It's these bankers that took the fucking money. It's the government that's bought by the bankers. It's the police force that's being paid by them to stifle your rights to protest. It's all that shit. Like, if that foundation crumbles, we won't be able to have the conversations about the moral shit that you want to have a conversation on.
It gets to a certain point. It gets to a boiling point where what happens? Because it's growing. Right now, they're saying that every day at Occupy Wall Street in New York, it's a bigger and bigger crowd. Every day. People are coming from all over the world to participate in it. My friend Jamie Kilstein, they're in fucking Melbourne, Australia. They're doing Occupy Melbourne. You know, and it's like 10 people. Fucking hippies.
But they're out there.
10 hippies in Australia, mate.
But they're
fucking
out there.
bankers, mate. You know, they're out there, but I mean, it's gigantic. It's beyond gigantic. So what does it do? When you look at it, do you extrapolate?
Well, constantly. You know, there's a million ways this thing can go, which is why I'm so fascinated by it. I mean, we are living in a chapter of a future history book, or we're living at the end of our society. I mean,
maybe
really
both.
You don't know.
Maybe both.
Maybe both, yeah. Maybe this is New World Order shit. Maybe this is when the crowd gets completely beat down and that's it. There's nothing you can do. We just be slaves to the system.
Did you see Ron Paul at the Republican debate?
Yeah.
Ron Paul had this one brilliant thing that he said that everybody says that really pays attention to human history. He said, this is exactly how every single empire has fallen. They try to spread themselves out too thin, and eventually it all comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We have a blueprint. We've seen this. We have the knowledge to connect all the dots as to what's happening right now. And yet we're just repeating history, but with slightly different tools and in slightly different volumes. You know, it's been ratcheted up, and we've survived a lot of that history. But who knows what atrocities could lie around the corner. But I've even looking at, like, I'm doing all right. I got a good job. I got great friends. Like, I'm doing great. And I'm really concerned for the direction of this country, which is why I'm trying to educate myself and be a little more outspoken about it. But I'm really concerned to the point where I've had the discussion of, all right, well, where's our exit strategy? What is it right now? If the shit really hits the fan tomorrow and they declare martial law in the streets, lockdown, you know, the riot police are coming in, are the Marines going to come in and fight? Am I going to wake up tomorrow morning, my dollar's worth nothing, and there's a war zone outside my window? I mean, we're potentially 2 to 3 years away from that. Maybe more. Who knows what's going to escalate? Maybe less. It could happen tomorrow. And that the notion that it could happen, not that I think it will, but the notion that it could, I never thought I would feel that in my lifetime in this country. And I feel it right now. And I've been researching, do I go to Finland, Switzerland? I mean, Japan was my exit strategy for a little while there. Love Japan, but that country's hit some fucking hard times right now. And
You wouldn't go to Canada?
I would go right to Vancouver.
Vancouver's the shit. So
I've never been to Vancouver. Vancouver, maybe I gotta go.
Awesome.
Is it?
Yeah. You ever done shows up? Yeah, you know,
a couple of times.
with me. Yeah, dude. Vancouver, first of all,
Will there be a mass exodus?
Great comedy scene, great weed,
great women,
super nice people, and really a really diverse community of all sorts of different kinds of people.
Oh, I got to be there now. That
dude, I
awesome.
almost moved there in 1984 when
really?
When Bush won again, not in 84 rather, 2004. When Bush won again in 2004, I just sat back, and especially because I was paying attention to the whole Diebold voting thing,
right?
And, you know, I was like, this is ridiculous. I watched the Hacking Democracy documentary, and I'm like, these guys, they stole it. This is this is not real anymore.
You got a programmer testifying under oath that he wrote code that allowed him to rig an election.
Yeah, and he showed how it can be done, and then did it.
Yeah,
and showed how there's a third party option in the software that allows a third party, other than the voter, other than the person reading the vote, a second person, another person comes in and inserts data and changes the data, and they showed how it can be done. And this is they had been massive contributors to the Republican Party. The idea that some company can contribute to the Republican Party and then make a machine that decides whether Republicans or Democrats win elections is madness. Absolute fucking madness.
It's called hedging your bets.
I got furious, man. There was a period of time over a couple of weeks. I'm a big fan of Canada. I love going up there, and I don't like the cold though. And I was like, man, Montreal would be the shit, but the winters are brutal. Fuck, where else could I live?
Right.
You know, maybe.
So
Toronto.
you had that thought. You went through that.
Man. I still do. I still go back and forth. I have my friend Bobby lives up.
So
in Vancouver.
what's going to be the pin drop?
I don't know.
Can you imagine?
It might
What's
be
the
just
catalyst?
as I get older. It might just be as I get older. I just decide enough is enough of this nonsense. You don't have to live in this country. You know, we are eventually becoming a global society. The connectivity that we all enjoy right now because of the internet lets people realize that communities, like my message board, I have a massive message board, and this community is a message board of really cool people from everywhere, man. I have people from fucking Saudi Arabia. I have people from foreign countries. I have Asian countries. I have people from Canada, a lot of fucking people from Canada, people from Switzerland and Sweden, all over the fucking world. And it leads me to believe that this idea that a fucking line in the dirt can dictate where you're from. Right. No. It should be like-minded people. It should be cool people, like-minded people. Find them. And if you find a spot, it's across the dirt line. It's no good anymore. Yeah, but it's awesome. Whether it's fucking Costa Rica or where the fuck it is. If you find a place that you think that you could live a safer, healthier, friendlier life than what you're here in the center of the shitstorm. You know, look, I love the idea of America. I love the idea of it all. I love the idea that, you know, we saved the world from the Russians and we saved the world from the Nazis, and that we're, you know, the noblest and the most creative. I love the idea, but I don't see it in practice, and it scares me. I don't want to.
Never been to a NASCAR game.
It's not a game. It scares me to think that I'm a rube. You know, that I'm locked into this stupid fucking system, and if it gets any worse, man, I don't know what to do.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what is
it falls apart around?
What is the catalyst? You know, and that's what I've been thinking, because, you know, people had chances to get out of countries that became locked down and wars started, and then it was like, you ain't going anywhere. Yeah, they had signs. They had news reports coming out. They had all that shit.
They didn't have the internet, though. They didn't have the internet. It was a different world.
Right.
The world that we're living in is a very strange world. And I don't know what happens when it all falls apart. I don't know. Is someone going to try to reclaim power? I mean, is there going to be an actual physical war? Are there going to be tanks in the streets? And who are those soldiers? Those soldiers are going to actually go after their brothers and sisters and cousins and neighbors?
Right. Yeah.
Are they going to do that?
Hopefully not.
How can they? How can they? Is that possible?
Well, they could be sold a message that it's not their brothers and sisters and neighbors, that it's insurgents, that they're terrorists.
And that would be the agent provocateur. So we need a certain population of sociopaths to make this whole fucking plan work for the man.
We're going to become Mexicans.